Johnny Depp is one of the most recognizable actors in the world, celebrated for his incredible versatility and unwavering dedication to the roles he portrays.
Something that's fresh each time, something that's new, or at least to attempt that, and to the real responsibility is to entertain them, to try and make them laugh, That's really it.
Known for his bold and unconventional film choices, Depp has firmly established himself as one of Hollywood's most dynamic performers, building a legacy as a truly well-rounded actor. His penchant for playing eccentric, often misunderstood outcasts has made him a master of character roles, with unforgettable performances like Captain Jack Sparrow and Willy Wonka standing out as cultural icons.
With all the characters I've played, they're still pretty close to the surface. I mean, they're still, each and every one, relatively accessible.
From the whimsical Mad Hatter in Alice in Wonderland to the intense portrayal of John Dillinger in Public Enemies, Depp has shown an extraordinary range, effortlessly transitioning between fantastical and grounded roles. With his ability to immerse himself in any character, Johnny Depp is the ultimate chameleon of Hollywood. Johnny Depp, originally recognized as a teen idol for his brooding, pretty boy image, managed to transcend the pitfalls of adolescent heartthrob fame and carve out a respected career as a versatile adult actor.
Johnny, what else can we expect to see you in?
This thing called, it's called something else now. I think it's called Learning to Fly. It'll be out in September.
Born on June 9, 1963, in Owensboro, Kentucky, Johnny was the youngest of 4 children to Betty Sue Palmer, a waitress, and John Christopher Depp, a civil engineer. The family moved frequently during his early years before settling in Miramar, Florida in 1970. When Johnny was 15, his parents divorced in 1978, and his mother later remarried Robert Palmer, a figure Johnny has credited as an inspiration. At the age of 12, Depp received his first guitar from his mother, sparking his passion for music. He joined various bands and dropped out of Miramar High School in 1979 at 16, aiming to pursue a career as a rock musician. Although he briefly tried to return to school, his principal encouraged him to follow his musical dreams. By 1980, Johnny was playing guitar in a band called The Kids, which eventually relocated to Los Angeles to chase a record deal, renaming themselves Six Gun Method. In December 1983, Depp married makeup artist Lori Ann Allison, the sister of his band's bassist and singer. However, the Kids broke up before landing a record deal in 1984, leading Johnny to collaborate with the band Rock City Angels. It was through his wife, Lori, that Depp met actor Nicolas Cage, who encouraged him to explore acting as a career. This led to his first film role in 1984's A Nightmare on Elm Street, where he played Nancy Thompson's boyfriend and one of Freddy Krueger's victims. By the late 1980s, Johnny Depp was a teen idol, thanks to his role as an undercover cop in the hit Fox television series 21 Jump Street, which debuted in 1987.
We're just starting. Well, this is a waste of time. It's a waste of time if you want your head unhinged from your shoulders. What's next? Get up. I'm a homeboy and you want to get in with me, all right? Try that.
Hey, Vito.
No, vato.
Hey, Vato.
Vato. Hit the O.
Vato.
Good. It means like fellow gangster. It's Spanish, okay?
He initially took the role to work with the esteemed actor Frederick Forrest, who had inspired him. Despite the fame that followed, Depp felt that the show confined him to the stereotypical image of a product and made a conscious decision to only take on film roles that he truly believed in. After his early acting experiences, Johnny Depp shifted his focus to roles that intrigued him, rather than those guaranteed to be box office hits. His first film of 1990, Cry Baby, was a 1950s set musical comedy. Although it didn't perform well at the box office initially, it has since become a beloved cult classic. That same year marked the beginning of Depp's iconic partnership with director Tim Burton. Their first collaboration, Edward Scissorhands, saw Johnny play the titular character, alongside Winona Ryder. The film was both a critical and commercial success, cementing a lasting relationship between Depp and Burton. Another standout role for Depp in the 90s came in What's Eating Gilbert Grape, a drama in which he starred opposite a rising Leonardo DiCaprio. In 1994, Johnny reunited with Tim Burton for their second project, Ed Wood, a biographical film about one of cinema's most notorious inept directors. Depp later admitted that the film allowed him to explore his acting in new, fun ways. Ed Wood received positive reviews, with many praising Depp's performance, which solidified his reputation as a serious, skilled actor. His portrayal earned him a Golden Globe nomination. In 1997, Johnny starred alongside Al Pacino in Donnie Brasco, a gripping crime drama.
When I introduce you, I'm gonna say, this is a friend of mine. That means you're connected, gang. Now, if I said instead, this is a friend of ours, that would mean you were made, gang. La capiche?
When Lefty brought Donnie into his world,
Who's this guy? This Donnie, a friend of mine.
he took a risk on a kid he hardly knew.
I'm gonna have to school you, my friend.
School me in what?
This guy never carries his money in a wallet. See? Always in a roll. Bina, adios.
To prepare, Depp spent time with the real-life Joe Pistone, the undercover FBI agent the film was based on. The movie was both a commercial and critical hit, widely regarded as one of Depp's finest performances. In 1998, Depp met French actress and singer Vanessa Paradis while filming The Ninth Gate in France. They began a relationship, and together they had 2 children, daughter Lily-Rose Depp, born in 1999, and son John Christopher Depp, the third born in 2002. Depp has spoken about how becoming a father gave him a real foundation, a strong place to stand in life.
I mean, I think I was making choices back then for my kid, so that when I was all dried up and burned out in this business, that my children would have something to be proud of, or hopefully be proud of one day. They can watch it and say that Dad did, good work for a little while.
In 2003, Johnny Depp embarked on what would become one of his most iconic roles, when Walt Disney Pictures announced the adventure film Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl. Depp was cast as the now legendary Captain Jack Sparrow. The film became a global hit, with Depp receiving widespread praise for his quirky and comedic portrayal of Captain Jack. His performance even earned him an Academy Award nomination for Best Actor.
How I saw the character was a sort of weird combination between a 18th century rock and roll star, i.e. Keith Richards, and then Pepe Le Pew, who was a skunk. Kind of a skunk, basically. Very romantic skunk.
The success of Pirates of the Caribbean solidified its place as one of Disney's most beloved action-adventure films, and it spurred the creators to begin working on a sequel. In 2005, Depp reunited with director Tim Burton for a fresh interpretation of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. True to Burton's signature style, the film embraced a darker, more eerie tone, which set it apart from previous adaptations.
Wasn't that just magnificent? I was worried he was getting a little dodgy in the middle part, but then that finale, wow!
Once I found him, it was okay. All the sort of elements combined would get you there. But it was the trick was finding him, and Tim and I had talks early on, of what this Wonka might be.
Depp's portrayal of Willy Wonka was unlike any of his past roles, with his eccentric appearance and unique mannerisms leaving a lasting impact. His over-the-top performance, from his peculiar voice to his exaggerated movements, made the character unforgettable. The exploration of Wonka's backstory added an intriguing twist to the classic tale, providing insight into the roots of his quirky behavior.
So yeah, that was a kind of an obtuse experience, but yeah.
That same year, Depp lent his voice to the stop-motion animated film Corpse Bride, another collaboration with Tim Burton, where he portrayed the character of Victor Van Dort. The long-awaited Pirates of the Caribbean sequel, Dead Man's Chest, was released in 2006, with audiences eagerly awaiting Depp's return as Captain Jack Sparrow.
When we did the first one, we thought we'd put everything we could think of, a talking parrot and a monkey and skeleton, sword-fighting skeletons. But then we started going into the sort of mystical history of the ocean, and we came up with things like Davy Jones and the kraken or kraken, depending on who you talk about, the sea creature. There's more adventure, there's more action. We had a bigger budget, so we got to have more fun.
According to several surveys, his portrayal of the character was the main reason many fans flocked to theaters. The sequel introduced Captain Jack's formidable nemesis, Davy Jones, played by Bill Nighy.
Well, this one you get everything explained to you that was left so kind of infuriatingly hanging last time. So everything is neatly, dovetailed and resolved, and you get to see why Davy Jones is actually, surprisingly, rather decent, tender, loving guy. No, unfortunately, he remains a maniac. But you at least get to see what happened to him and why he's so angry and intense.
Oh, you have a debt to pay. You've been captain of the Black Pearl for 13 years. That was our agreement.
The film, followed by At World's End in 2007, was a major box office success. In 2007, Depp joined forces once again with Tim Burton for Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street, a film based on the 1979 stage musical. Despite being initially uncertain about singing in a musical, Depp worked with his former bandmate Bruce Witkin to perfect his vocals. The film, which also starred Helena Bonham Carter, was met with critical acclaim, earning Depp a Golden Globe Award and another...
Guarantee the closest shave you will ever know. May the good Lord smile on you.
In 2009, Depp reunited with director Terry Gilliam for The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus, a project that was originally meant to feature Heath Ledger, who tragically passed away during filming. Depp, along with Jude Law and Colin Farrell, stepped in to complete Ledger's character, with all three actors donating their salaries to Ledger's daughter, Matilda. Depp also starred in Michael Mann's Public Enemies, 2009, portraying the notorious gangster John Dillinger.
John Dillinger club banks.
That's a serious thing to say to a girl you just met.
I like baseball, movies, good clothes, fast cars, and you. What else you need to know?
And I like him playing this kind of a character, a tough guy, a real man. And, there's really there's Johnny and maybe one other person, which I won't name, but if they didn't do it, I don't think I'd have done a movie.
In 2010, Depp took on the role of the Mad Hatter in Tim Burton's Alice in Wonderland, showcasing his exceptional ability to bring larger-than-life characters to the screen.
It's your 7th collaboration with Tim Burton. Is there anything you will not do for this man?
No, I would absolutely do anything for the guy. Without question. Wouldn't matter.
His performance alongside an ensemble cast, including Helena Bonham Carter, Anne Hathaway, and Alan Rickman, further cemented his versatility as an actor.
I wanted the Hatter to, something like Tim and I early on were talking about, if this guy were actually made up of different people, they would be the extreme sides of these people. So I wanted to go extremely kind of dark and dangerous with the Scots accent. So I hope I arrived there.
The abuse and enslaved in the Red Queen's court. All of you, stand up and fight. Rise up against the bloody Red Queen.
The following year, Depp returned to the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise with On Stranger Tides.
Death lies before us as we sail to the fountain of youth.
You could guide an expedition. You are Jack Sparrow.
There should be a captain in there somewhere.
Much to the delight of fans who were thrilled to see Captain Jack Sparrow again. The film introduced new characters and storylines, while still being a box office success.
How the films have been accepted and how the characters have been accepted, and you think back, you know, when we first started out on Pirates 1, it was very simple. It's just like any other character. You just sort of grab bits and pieces and you know, out comes this kind of weird little stew you've created, you know. And it's just so much fun to, well, get away with things that you're not normally allowed to get away with.
In 2011, Depp voiced the title character in Rango, an animated film about a chameleon who becomes the sheriff of a small desert town. The film, which enjoyed global appeal, demonstrated Depp's ability to captivate audiences even when behind the microphone, bringing the character to life with his unique voice. Depp then revisited the work of Hunter S. Thompson in The Rum Diary, a film adaptation of Thompson's novel. Depp had discovered the manuscript while going through Thompson's papers in his Colorado cabin and was instrumental in getting the novel published and adapted for the screen.
And the novel got published 40 years after it was written, and then asked me to have a go at the screenplay for it, which I did. I am a screenwriter, that's what I do. And then, to my amazement, he said, okay, now you can direct it.
We worked very hard together to try to get it done. And because it was such a long shot, at that time, you know, the two of us kind of, you know, doing some sort of unexpected tap dance to try to get money for the film, it didn't work very well. And then, you know, we kept pushing forward, and then we pushed it through. But I mean, 14 years, you know, 14 years to get this thing made.
In 2012, Johnny Depp reunited with Tim Burton for their 8th collaboration in Dark Shadows, a film inspired by the 1960s Gothic soap opera of the same name.
I think it's one of Tim's, you know, finest yet again. I mean, he just keeps getting better and better as a filmmaker and as an artist. Well, I certainly haven't gotten tired of working with Tim. I don't think I ever would. It's always fresh, it's always new, it's always different, so it feels like the first time every time.
Alongside Depp, the movie featured Michelle Pfeiffer, Eva Green, and Helena Bonham Carter. Depp, who had been a fan of the original show as a child, also took on the role of co-producer. Despite high expectations, the film was poorly received in the US, leading to questions about the staying power of Depp's star appeal.
Well, it was tricky because, I mean, a lot of people know it. You know, I mean, there was a group of us, like, you know, Johnny or Michelle Pfeiffer and others, but it wasn't a big group. I mean, other countries didn't know about it. So we just tried to do what we loved about the show and not have it be reliant on anybody knowing what the show was.
You know, my twist and Tim's twist on the vampire, I mean, and certainly the base ingredient was Jonathan Frid. You know, he was wonderful in the role, and there was no way to escape the sort of beauty that he
So there was no
contributed.
political context.
No political context.
In 2015, Depp earned critical praise for his portrayal of notorious Boston gangster James Whitey Bulger in Black Mass. His compelling performance earned him a 3rd nomination for the Best Actor SAG Award.
It becomes everything, you know, once you're able to actually see the character. And we did 5 or 6 tests with my makeup artist to get it to the point where it was just as perfect as we can get. And not only the fact that it aids in bringing that character to life, it was quite interesting to see the reactions from some of his former associates. You know, some of them were quite freaked out.
Really?
You know, they were extras sometimes, you know, and they would be in the scene, and you know, afterwards they were, you know, a bit freaked out.
A bit close for comfort.
I think, you know, it was sort of like seeing Whitey Bulger 30 years ago. Well, I mean, anytime that someone, that people take notice of something you've done. Although, I mean, my process hasn't changed at all. You know, my process is the same as it's ever been. But of course, yeah, no, it's really nice to hear that people responded to it.
The same year, he starred in Mordecai alongside Gwyneth Paltrow, playing an eccentric art dealer on a chaotic quest to recover a stolen painting.
The first time I read it, I thought, it could never, ever be a movie. It's too much. In fact, you realize there's like 7 movies in the trilogy. You could make at least 5 movies from the trilogy. There's different subplots.
2015 also marked a significant personal event for Depp, as he married actress Amber Heard, his co-star from The Rum Diary.
Meeting an actress like Amber Heard, she's of another era, you know. I mean, she's quite something, you know. She's very special.
He's such a pleasure. He's even better than I could have imagined him to be, which is saying something. I noticed when I got to set that everybody smiled when he walks on set, and I know it's a good sign.
In 2016, Depp returned to the role of the Mad Hatter in Tim Burton's Alice Through the Looking Glass, a sequel to Alice in Wonderland. While the film was not as well received as its predecessor, it performed decently at the box office. In the same year, Depp made a secretive cameo as the dark wizard Gellert Grindelwald in Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, part of the Harry Potter prequel series. His appearance was not publicized, only revealed at the film's conclusion. Depp continued his role as Captain Jack Sparrow in Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales, though the film's reception was lukewarm domestically. However, it saw a stronger performance internationally. Later that year, Depp appeared in Murder on the Orient Express, an ensemble cast adaptation of Agatha Christie's classic mystery novel. In 2018, Johnny Depp starred in City of Lies as LAPD detective Russell Poole, who investigates the infamous murders of rappers Tupac Shakur and the notorious B.I.G.
Biggie didn't have Tupac killed.
The facts point to something more here.
If we could prove a connection between Cop and Biggie's murder, it would not only break the LAPD.
It would ruin the city.
Although the film was initially scheduled for release in September 2018, it was pulled from the release calendar just 1 month before. The movie was eventually screened at the Noir Film Festival in Italy and eventually released in March 2021. Johnny Depp appeared in the film Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald, where he reprised his role as the dark wizard Grindelwald, who becomes a central figure in the sequel to Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Johnny Depp's final 2020 film appearance was as photographer W. Eugene Smith in the independent drama Minamata, which premiered at the Berlin International Film Festival before being released in early 2021 after delays due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The film centers on Smith's work documenting the devastating impact of mercury poisoning on the citizens of Minamata, Japan.
I've always had a kind of a strange fascination with Eugene Smith, W. Eugene Smith. Initially, the photographs, of course, but then when I'd read a bit about his life and what he'd gone through, what he'd experienced, what he sacrificed to capture those moments, you know, to capture those photos. I was also fascinated by the fact that he was known as W. Eugene Smith. And I've heard the story that whenever anyone, he would be, you know, at times curmudgeonly, in bad mood, or whatever was going on in his mind, and they'd say, what does the W stand for, Gene? And he'd say, wonderful. Wonderful Eugene Smith. And then, of course, the work that he and Eileen did in Minamata is monumental. I mean, it was quite a ride for them. Very dangerous, very. I mean, so dedicated. So yeah, they did not jump ship.
Before embarking on his acting career, Johnny Depp was a guitarist. He later contributed to songs by bands like Oasis, Iggy Pop, Aerosmith, and more. Depp showcased his musical talent on the soundtracks of Chocolate and Once Upon a Time in Mexico, and appeared in music videos for artists such as Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, the Lemonheads, Avril Lavigne, and Paul McCartney.
A few collaborations as well, Johnny Depp.
Well, he came in at the end of a song. We went to L.A. to do this record. The whole band was hanging out, and that's where you would meet somebody like him. And I'd known him from before and just invited them down to the studio. He's a big fan of Joe's and a bunch of other people, too.
He's a good guitar player, isn't he?
I say what?
He's a good actor.
He's a great guitar player.
Yeah, you ever seen the movie Chocolate?
I have.
Yeah, well, that's him. That's really him playing. Like in the movies, they can fake it, and you can tell when you watch him play in that movie. He's playing. That's the real deal.
Yeah.
But also, he jammed with us at the Hollywood Bowl in this the last gig and the last tour, and he wanted to play on Train Kept a Rollin', and it's on the DVD and it's on the deluxe version, so you can really get a chance to hear him cut loose.
In 2015, he co-founded the supergroup Hollywood Vampires alongside Alice Cooper and Joe Perry. The band also features Bruce Witkin, a longtime friend from Depp's 1980s band, The Kids.
Well, it started out right here. We did Dark Shadows, and I was in the movie with him, and one night we were going to go play the 100 Club. Just my band was going to go down and just be a bar band. No theatrics, nothing. We're just going to go in. Somebody yells out Brown Sugar, we'll play it. We're back in the USSR, okay. And I said, Johnny, come down and play with us. So he comes down, brings his amp, and he's a good guitar player. Really a good guitar player. He started out being a guitar player and became an actor. And then we took it another step, and I said, what if we paid tribute to all of our dead drunk friends? All the guys we used to drink with. And we had a drinking club called the Hollywood Vampires.
Hollywood Vampires made their live debut at the Roxy in Los Angeles in September 2015 and went on to tour the world in 2016 and 2018. Their second album, Rise, released in June 2019, mainly consists of original material, including several songs written by Depp himself. It also features his cover of David Bowie's Heroes, which he performed vocally. In 2020, Depp collaborated with guitarist Jeff Beck on a cover of John Lennon's Isolation, with plans to release more music together in the future. Johnny Depp and Amber Heard's relationship quickly became tumultuous as they filed for divorce in May 2016, with Heard accusing Depp of domestic violence, leading to a public scandal. Heard was granted a temporary restraining order against Depp in May 2016, claiming that Depp had physically assaulted her multiple times during their marriage, often while intoxicated. She showed evidence of a bruised face, which was widely publicized. Depp denied the allegations, and the two eventually reached a $7 million divorce settlement in 2016, with Heard pledging to donate the amount to charity.
Amber Heard described how Johnny Depp had become so angry that he grabbed the phone from her and wound his arm back like a baseball player before throwing it in her face as hard as possible. Asked why two police officers called to the apartment couldn't see any sign of physical harm, she said she couldn't explain that, but they must have known she was upset.
Amber Heard wrote an op-ed published in the Washington Post in December 2018, in which she described herself as a public figure representing domestic abuse, although she did not mention Depp by name. The op-ed became the catalyst for the defamation case Depp later filed. Heard's 2018 article depicted her as a survivor of domestic violence, and she discussed the challenges that come with speaking out against such abuse. While the article did not directly accuse Depp of abusing her, Depp argued that it clearly implied that he was the abuser, which damaged his reputation and career.
Fights didn't happen in front of the family. They happened behind closed doors. They happened when everyone else had gone home. Both stars will be back here tomorrow with more conflicting accounts of the breakup of a Hollywood marriage anticipated, before the evidence is due to be concluded on Friday. Paul Davis, News at 10 at the Royal Courts of Justice.
Depp filed a $50 million defamation lawsuit against Heard in March 2019, claiming that her allegations were false and had caused him significant damage, including the loss of major film roles, such as his role in the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise and his role in the Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them franchise. Before the defamation lawsuit in the United States, Depp pursued legal action in the UK. In 2018, Depp sued The Sun newspaper for calling him a wife-beater in an article written by journalist Dan Wooten. The case went to trial in 2020, with Depp arguing that he had never abused Heard. During the trial, Heard testified about multiple incidents of alleged abuse. She claimed Depp had been violent toward her on various occasions, especially when he was under the influence of drugs or alcohol. Depp's legal team countered, claiming that Heard was the actual abuser and that Depp was the victim of her physical violence. In November 2020, the High Court in London ruled against Depp, stating that the allegations made by The Sun were substantially true. As a result, Depp lost his libel case and was asked to step down from his role as Grindelwald in the Fantastic Beasts franchise. After losing the UK libel case, Depp's legal team turned to the US to pursue his defamation claim against Heard. The defamation case went to trial in Virginia in April 2022, and the proceedings were broadcast live, drawing intense public attention. Depp's legal team argued that Heard's op-ed implied that Depp was a domestic abuser, even though she did not name him specifically. Depp's team claimed the article caused him to lose his career. Heard's legal team presented evidence, including audio recordings and testimony from friends and experts, to back up her claims that Depp had abused her throughout their relationship.
Let me leave.
Stop rushing me! Stop pushing me in the corner and then poking me with a stick and then saying, why are you saying the words you want me to say? Stop poking me! Stop rushing me! Stop throwing me against the wall and going, what? You don't like that wall? You don't like the fucking wall? Stop pushing me!
The trial featured dramatic and often sensationalized details of their relationship, with both sides accusing the other of violence, manipulation, and lies. Both Depp and Heard took the stand, with Depp testifying that he had never physically assaulted her and that he had been the victim of her violent actions.
And what did you say in response when Miss Heard said, tell the world, Johnny, tell them Johnny Depp, I, Johnny Depp, a man, I'm a victim, too, of domestic violence?
I said yes.
I have nothing further, Your Honor.
The trial was heavily covered in the media, with public opinion divided. Depp supporters, many of whom rallied behind the hashtag Justice for Johnny Depp, argued that he was a victim of a false accusation. Meanwhile, Heard's supporters pointed to her testimony and evidence as proof of abuse. On June 1, 2022, the jury in Virginia ruled largely in favor of Johnny Depp. They found that Amber Heard's op-ed was defamatory and awarded Depp $10 million in compensatory damages and $5 million in punitive damages, though the punitive damages were reduced to $350,000 by Virginia's state law. The jury also found that Depp's lawyer had defamed Heard, though the damages awarded to her were far smaller. $2 million in compensatory damages.
It has been incredibly painful to relive the breakup of my relationship, to have my motives, my truth questioned, and the most traumatic and intimate details of my life with Johnny shared in court and broadcast to the entire world.
Depp expressed that he felt at peace with the verdict, as he believed it had restored his reputation. He also stated that the case had been about clearing his name rather than money. Depp made his long-awaited return to screens in the film Jean du Barry. It marked a significant shift in Depp's career. The film tells the story of Jeanne Bécu, a working-class woman who rose to become the last royal mistress of Louis XV. It's a tale of scandal, power, and class, one that mirrored, in some ways, the scrutiny surrounding Depp himself. For Depp, this was more than a role. It was a return. After years spent in legal battles and public fallout from his highly publicized divorce and defamation trial, Jean du Barry became a symbolic project.
So for me, a film like this that is, well, let's face it, man, it was an underdog. Initially, somewhat of an underdog, even with my Wen involved, even, you know, it was an underdog. And the beauty of what we did was that she was able to put together the film that she wanted on every level. And then from that, it doesn't, for me, if a thing makes money, that's fantastic, you know? But the most important thing is that it gets made, and that person who, the visionary or the collaborative effort gets the opportunity to be seen. In a world where normally a film like this wouldn't. So I'm very proud of my Wen for taking the risk on me and for doing the work she did.
The film opened the 2023 Cannes Film Festival, where Depp walked the red carpet to thunderous applause and extended standing ovations. Critics were divided. Some praised his restrained performance as regal and compelling. Others questioned his casting, pointing to the controversy that still lingered.
She had great courage to take me into her cast. The film was whatever we did, whatever we experienced. I think and I hope you'll find it was well worth the agony of this kid trying to make film for that length of time.
In 2024, Johnny Depp stepped behind the lens to create Modi 3 Days on the Wing of Madness, a passion project rooted in pain, beauty, and chaos, reflecting not just Modigliani's life, but perhaps echoes of Depp's own.
Because film, I don't care what anybody says. Film is a collaborative effort. It just is. From the top to the bottom, and especially from the bottom to the top. It's a collaborative effort. Everyone is necessary. Everyone is working for the same goal.
The film captures 72 frenetic hours in Paris, 1916, as Modigliani wrestles with fame, poverty, obsession, and the disintegration of his own psyche. For Depp, it marked more than a cinematic return. It was a reassertion of his identity as a storyteller. He didn't appear on screen. He didn't want to. Instead, he channeled everything through the lens, meticulously crafting a world that blurred the lines between genius and madness.
I'm proud to be standing here as a director, especially because I wasn't an actor in it. No, very proud. I'm very proud to be able to bring this film and that it was accepted here. We were welcomed here to Saudi to show it. This is a film for certain festivals where people actually want to watch and learn. They don't want the same old formula. You know, they want to be surprised. They want to
Riccardo Scamarcio took on the role of Modi, bringing a fierce vulnerability to the artist.
Yeah, it's and he's a painter too. So, and it's been very intense and wonderful for me to do this movie and to play this character, which. But the movie, it tells the story of Modigliani, like 3 days of his life, but it tries to interrogate, to question, to investigate, all the dynamics that an artist has to deal with, to go through his life, and this is the most important thing. At the end, there is a vision in the movie that the movie suggests, like not obviously, but if you pay attention, there's some very important messages of freedom. So I'm very proud of this movie.
For Depp, this wasn't just directing. It was personal exorcism. In Maori 3 Days on the Wing of Madness, Johnny Depp didn't just revisit cinema. He reinvented his place in it. Johnny Depp's journey, from a young guitarist to a globally renowned actor, is a testament to his versatility, passion, and resilience. His ability to seamlessly transition between music and film has shaped him into a multi-talented artist, one whose contributions to both industries have left an indelible mark. Throughout his career, Depp has consistently defied expectations, immersing himself in a wide array of characters that have captivated audiences and earned him a reputation as one of Hollywood's most unique talents.
It was wonderful to work with Johnny Depp, it really was. I'm a great admirer of his from years, like everybody else. And he is a dreamy, easy, very obviously, one of the greatest actors currently working, and a very easy guy to work with and do business with. And the major challenge, honestly, is to keep a straight face, because he never stops and he's always working, and you'll be doing something and he'll look round and he's got some kind of new idea, and it's always very funny.
Despite the challenges and controversies that have followed him, Depp remains steadfast in his commitment to his craft, continuing to take on roles that push boundaries and inspire. Whether as a musician or an actor, he has always done things on his own terms, refusing to be confined to the traditional molds of fame. His legacy, built on his unforgettable performances and fearless creativity, is secure. And as he continues to evolve, there's little doubt that Johnny Depp's influence will continue to resonate for years to come.